Boom, boom, boom. Stay locked, because we're the bomb.
Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG, and my name is Olatoluko. We bid you a warm welcome to the bar this very interesting afternoon.
Well, welcome to the Boom Bar. We're glad to be here again. Thank you for always joining at this hour. Not taking chances for that. But welcome. My name is Tokumbo Ojekunle.
My name is Shola Rogers. It's always a pleasure to be at the bar. And thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the likes, the follows. The subscription on YouTube is amazing. Keep it coming. Tell somebody to tell someone that the best radio show that is streamed on TV is live. Boom Bar. You know, we don't just talk. We prefer solutions. That's what we do. It's called solution journalism, and that's what we're about to do again. And again, we have drinks, you know. We have drinks. The good-natured ones amongst us have drinks. The other ones have bad belly. So
You should go for brandy.
you know.
You should go for brandy.
Like the Kubo has stout.
Oh, you should.
He has stout now. Me, I have water.
This is stout. This one is stout.
Okay, sorry. Should I mention the brand? It's a Guinness stout. Okay.
Dilopo, how are you doing?
Okay, and Bukola Medibi says, and my name is Bukola Medibi.
Yes,
You're
welcome. Yes, co-host par excellence.
Oh,
Okay, so we're going to be talking about a few things today. Governor Fubara is in the news again, and it doesn't look like he's going anywhere anytime soon.
Man, me is in the news for all the wrong reasons, man.
Okay, President Tinubu is in the news. He made
What did he do?
some proclamations yesterday. However, this is probably the first time this is happening. There is Federal Executive Council meeting that started yesterday. Is still ongoing today.
Okay.
So and there's a lot.
In Yoruba,
first time.
we say Isheti Gbomi, meaning
There's a
that
lot to
work
be
has
talked about.
collected water.
So there was a pause yesterday, and it's continued again today. Anyway, we're going to be talking about that. The National Assembly is also in the news. There's a minister who, the Minister of Women Affairs has filed a lawsuit in a state. Very interesting case. A former minister who has also been in the news a lot for a while is also in the news for what we'll say maybe one of the wrong reasons as well. So sit back, relax, and we're going to be talking about that. If time permits us, there is a bit of international news. Sadly, there's a lot of sad news happening around the world when it comes to natural disasters. Not looking good at all. A bit of sports news, if time permits us. So sit back, relax, and please enjoy today's show. Now we're going to be starting from Governor Fubara. And the gist with Governor Fubara now is that he has vowed to probe former Governor Wike's governance. Why are you laughing?
There's confusion around that place.
Because there is confusion. Yes, I agree.
There is confusion.
Confusion, eh?
Okay, now, is it about the person or about what he has done or you think he has done?
The governance, the
Yeah, sorry.
I like it.
okay. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's all right. My point is that after all this while, why is he now bringing this thing up? He's now going to,
If you really think about it, it's just 1 year into his governance. So you could sit down and say that, you know what?
Must he announce that?
What's wrong with
Don't you notice that is something that they all announced?
What's wrong with they did it in Kaduna now.
Everybody does.
And they are probing now.
They are probing the former governor,
Okay.
which I think that
there's no love lost between them though.
I don't think it's even if it's there
No,
is love
come
lost.
on now.
Oh,
There's
yes,
no love lost
at the
between
moment.
them.
At the
Okay,
moment,
yeah.
there
Okay.
was. That will not even lie. There was a lot of love. Apparently, it sailed with the wind, or maybe it's the water that carried it away.
If there was love, it wouldn't be this bad.
There was love, oh. See,
You
there
have
was a lot
unconditional
of
love before.
conditional.
Unconditional.
Whether it's conditional or unconditional, is that one that I don't
Okay,
know.
that's even another case.
But
Go ahead.
the story basically for me, and why it's interesting, is that the honest truth is that personally, except we know that a lot of times in the case of Nigerian governors, when somebody says they want to probe a former governor, it's always to spite the other governor.
That's always.
Sadly. But if we really sit down with governance, I don't think it's such a bad thing. It also puts I think that it would even the former governor, it puts them in a good light if your predecessor, your successor, which one is the one? Your predecessor. Successor. One of these.
No, don't worry, say something.
If your successor probes your government and finds you clean, do you understand? Like, I think that it probably should even be a standard when a new person comes in. They need to check the governance and the workings of the former governor. I do not think is a bad thing.
Nothing is wrong about that.
Sadly, in Nigeria, a lot of those things are done due to bad belly, like you said.
Bile doctrine.
Yeah, and it's basically just to get at
somebody.
The former person, and really not governance, is more of politics. So in the case of Governor Fubara, the interesting part with this is that Governor Fubara used to be part of the Wike government. In fact, it was the accountant general. If you keep in mind very well, he was a civil servant. Remember, there was an interview last week of a particular person that was going on that if not for Governor Wike, Governor Fubara would have been a level 14 civil servant.
Yeah, that was Alabo George.
That said that last week. So Governor Wike brought him in, made him the accountant general. So if you are going to probe the governance of former Governor Wike, you, the custodian of the money in that government,
the man in charge of the vault,
what do you think? Now, let's hold that one aside. 2, Governor Fubara, it is not even an allegation, it is out there in public that he is, or he was, I think he's on hold now because he has immunity. He was being searched for and almost got arrested by the EFCC for a lot of, the headlines are all over the place. In fact, there is a proper EFCC publication out there declaring him wanted with his picture in his full glory. A sitting governor.
I don't understand.
Talking about misappropriation of funds in River State government.
Let us still say they are alleged. Let us still
No,
say.
I'm not saying that
it's part of the
I'm saying
story.
that is
No,
what
I get
EFCC said.
Dolupo, I understand you. I said it's part of that story still.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, fine.
So
fine.
it is whatever EFCC is alleging, whatever. What I'm saying that he's even being declared wanted by the EFCC. So that was in respect of the River State government under Governor Wike. So how do you want to probe a government that you had a lot of allegations hanging over your head? You were the accountant general, and you are not going to rope yourself in.
He can still do that.
Because it's one way, to me, it's either you rope yourself in or you say that you were not involved. But how do all this money, if you claim that there's any wrongdoing, how would all that wrongdoing happen under you and you didn't know?
Well, a probe is not necessarily a bad thing, and we are not going to assume that because they want to probe in a normal situation. You get, I worked somewhere once and, they actually sent in external auditors. They spent about a week with us, looked through all our books, and they will call you, you sit down, they'll ask you, this transaction, what was it? Do you understand? That's a sprinkling of what happens in the probe. It's just a small part of it, yeah? So it's not necessarily a bad thing because even the people who called for the audit know that it's a part of keeping your books so that when you have investors, they know that your books are properly kept. Two, the people who call for the probe, maybe the directors of the business or the chairman or the chair people or whatever, will now be convinced because now they now know that you didn't steal their money. Even if there were allegations of
prior to that, everything was in doubt.
Maybe you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. Yes, you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. And if you knew and they didn't say it to your face, they're like, okay, we're definitely going to probe this company. It's 2 years old. We're going to probe this place. And they probed and you came out clean. Do you understand? So a probe is not a bad thing.
No, it
shouldn't be a bad thing.
It shouldn't be.
Yes, in a normal situation.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
The reason why this is raising eyebrows, for those who still have eyebrows.
Eyebrow.
The reason why it's raising that is because the current governor of Rivers State, was implicated by the EFCC. Then it was also protected by the then governor.
Yeah.
And if you just go a quick Google search, you will see the stories that are there. So these are not even mere allegations. These things actually happened. But until they prove it in court that he has, stolen money. Now, him being governor gives him immunity. He's immune. He cannot be prosecuted.
This immunity stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, immunity again.
Go on, yeah.
He cannot be prosecuted. However, his tenure will end one day. Be it 4 years. Some people have started calling him #one-time governor. Some people have started saying
Are you sure that one time will even finish?
Exactly. So be it 1 term or half term or full term or 8 years, it will end one day and
Oh, okay. Pause. You put on there's something else you put doing on this.
It's editor.
No, not you to edit. Okay. BT616 says at Bukola, I'm looking for a third wife or a second side chick. Pick one of the options.
Excuse me.
I like BT.
I like
BT616. The thing is that
okay,
he has put his cards on the table.
Yeah.
A third wife, meaning that he has 2 wives.
Okay.
Or a second side chick, meaning that he has 2 side chicks.
No, he has 1 side chick.
You see, when men say one,
me.
When men say
me for
you
men,
understand?
Me for men.
A man that has come out openly like this, we know say so.
Men for men.
And there might be some babes that are even dating him that he doesn't know.
Not dating.
So we just add it up and say,
I like your input.
We are waiting for
Is
your
Fubara in the mix.
Reply would
the mix of
anyway.
So the thing about it that makes it worth talking about is that if there's any financial impropriety, he's going to be involved too.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised. Listen, that for instance, when the former governor of Anambra finished his tenure, he was arrested by the EFCC and eventually let go. Do you understand? And he traveled to America, and I think he's off the hook now. There's nothing implicating him. Yahya Bello, wherever he might be, is being probed by the EFCC as we speak. Do you understand? So virtually, even the current president, we've talked about it here, was probed by EFCC, ICPC, and all the C's. So a Wike that did so many projects, I am actually surprised that the EFCC have not gone after him.
So, Governor Fubara said today that the government is still paying a lot of contractors, that Governor Wike did not fully fund most of the projects he embarked on. Are you shocked? Are you shocked?
He said that Wike did not.
He didn't complete the project.
No, he completed. He didn't fully pay
them.
How is that news? Wike has a style. Most of the major projects that he carried out, He paid fully. Even let me tell you. What is
Fubara saying?
Wait,
what's Fubara saying?
Guys.
No, Fubara is kicking that.
Guys, please allow me this moment. If we go and dig deep, there is a project that Governor Fubara flagged off when he became governor. It's supposed to be like a bridge that will transverse 2 or 3 local governments and everything. He gave it to Julius Berger, and he said that he had paid them in advance because that's what Governor Wike used to do. He said that. The same Governor Wike, when he started doing jobs in Abuja, would say, look, pay them so that there are no delays.
Yeah.
And Fubara said this specifically, that he doesn't want any delays on this project. So that is him contradicting himself.
That's very interesting, though. You know why? Because now, I remember, in fact, if you remember very well, there was a conversation that brought about when Wike was governor, and there were questions said, a lot of people were asking him where he's getting the money, and how is the money that was paid by President Buhari to Niger Delta State, which nobody heard about until he said it, that's the money he was using to fund this project, and these people were being paid fully. So how many of these contractors can actually come out and say that they were not paid fully?
We need them to.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
out
BT616 says, was Fubara not part of Wike's government?
Exactly.
He needs to be careful when throwing stones into the marketplace. Sir, he was just not part of the government. He was the accountant general.
You know, I asked this question before this show. I said, did he really make those bold statements?
Oh, yes, he did. Oh, yes, he did.
There's just something not right about the way he coordinates
So
his
he's
thoughts
saying
sometimes.
that, in fact, his words, most projects commissioned by Wike not fully funded.
I think we're getting somewhere.
Okay, look, not fully funded
You know
or
why?
not. Governance is a continuum. Like, I don't know why this is a thing. If you're going to complain about the fact that the contracts were over what's that thing, marked up or something,
or it wasn't
or
done
there was
properly.
kickbacks being taken and all of that,
or
that the contract
collected the money and
they didn't do the job. But that the jobs were not fully funded. That's not a thing. That's not. There are a lot of jobs that President Goodluck Jonathan started that Buhari finished. There are a lot of jobs now that President Buhari started that Tinubu is finishing.
You are perfectly right.
There's
something in governance
it's a continuum
called carryover.
Yeah,
There's something in governance called carryover. It comes with a handover. There will be a handover of the things you are carrying over after my tenure.
So Mr.
That's all.
Fubara is telling you a lot of things. I honestly think that he's grasping at straws. I honestly think that he's not. I don't want to sound unnice.
No, please don't. I can imagine. Please. Don't.
He's not sounding very intelligent. I'm being nice.
Okay.
Why? What are you drinking? I'm just saying, like, there are a lot of things okay, for the past couple of weeks, there are a lot of decisions and a lot of things that Governor Fubara has said that it's almost like he keeps shooting himself in the leg. It's not working. It's not working.
Again, I ask, like I've been asking, who advises Governor Sim Fubara? Who is he listening to? Who are his advisors?
This is someone that on the internet, his picture is right there, having him, what's it called? Declared wanted. It's right there.
Okay, all right.
And again, this also serves politicians right. You see, I understand the need to have trusted people take over from you and all of that, but it also serves you right, former governor.
Yes, I think I agree.
That of all the people that worked with you for 8 years, this was the best that you had.
You could come up with, and keep in mind that this was someone that was literally running from the law.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
and you supported
and you know the funny thing is that if someone
sort
that
yourselves out.
because it's one thing, you know.
What did you say now?
Sort yourselves out.
Exactly where I was going.
Because it's one thing to be able to say that someone is a criminal, even if you're not a criminal. and the allegations leveled against you.
Yeah.
The right thing, the honorable thing for you to do is go and clear your name.
Yeah.
But we saw it happen live where he was literally running. He did not, the campaign that made him a governor, he literally did not run it.
Dulukbo, those who live in glass houses,
So
they do not throw stones.
if we just look at
He's
him
throwing
morally,
stones.
so if we really look at him
Catapulting
morally,
stones.
Governor Fubara
Okay.
has, a tainted,
Sort yourself out.
some alleged tainted, what's it called? So at the end of the day, who is the kind of person as you, as former Governor Wike, that you feel that is someone with some tainted issues and a lot of allegations around, you feel that is the only person that you can use as a governor?
If we're really serious about moving this country forward and really giving people value for being Nigerians, and we care about governance, anybody, even if it's allegation, they must go and clear themselves.
Clear yourself
first.
before you. Yes.
You know, ideally,
Sadly, it's not in the law.
every politician should go and get a clearance from law enforcement, health clearance, and everything. Then come out and contest.
Are you sure it's not even there?
It's not. Sadly,
sure?
it's just convictions.
I think they have them on some party levels.
No.
It's just if
okay.
you're not convicted. Because
Okay.
honestly and truly, I agree, you should be able to clear your name and clear your
See.
issues. On a normal day, someone that is declared wanted should not contest an election for governor.
See,
Those
people
who
have
live
gone.
in glass
People have gone
houses,
far.
Can't.
they don't throw
People
stones.
have gone to bring out
I'm not going to.
the
Yeah,
flyer,
that-
the EFCC flyer.
That's what she
And-
said. That's what Dulukbo said earlier. And I agree.
Here,
Yeah.
it is here.
Yeah.
Wanted by EFCC. Fubara Seminaya,
Please-
Arisomba Bessie Prince Will, Lekia V Bokbo, Dagogo Roderick Abere. Go and Google these names again and find out where they are.
Please
This is
spell the Fubara you are seeing there. I hope-
Same guy
The
with
same
his
guy
picture.
with his
No, I just
picture.
wanted to.
Same
with
guy.
his picture.
All right.
So
Same
you
guy.
can't even miss it out. It's his picture.
When
You
you
guys-
live in glass houses, you don't.
Director
throw
of Finance of
stones.
Rivers State Government.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's 43 years old, dark in complexion.
Oh,
His last known address was
Oh,
number
they
12,
actually
blah, blah,
posted
blah, blah,
it.
blah.
It's all over the internet.
It's there on the internet. So being a governor that is hiding under Nigeria's constitution does not mean
So
that we all should just be like.
BT616 says, but Fubara has immunity now. Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Now,
But
my
it will
own
end.
argument is that number one, it to end. Number two is, shouldn't he have been cleared before you even before you even run for an election or run for an elected post? I think it's completely ridiculous if we have people with questionable character run for an office as high as the governor of
There
a
are
state.
so many things we are doing on the wrong way.
It's
in this
completely
country.
wrong.
We have to start from the brass, from the basics. You know, it's so easy. I tell a lot of people that when they started this idea that before you get a job, they say, what's your qualification? And they ask you for original documents and photocopies, okay? And then they ask you to go, okay? They return your original to you after citing it, and they ask you to leave. What do you think they are doing behind you?
They're checking.
They are running a check on you.
But
they are running a check on you.
Do we see?
And we have stopped all those things. Governance has changed. All politicians, they should understand that things aren't the same.
Look,
things are the same.
BT616 says our government in Ogun State was actually, is it government or governor?
Governor.
Governor was actually jailed for credit card fraud in Florida. Look it up. Did anybody clear him?
But these are the issues.
So these are the issues.
These
So
are the
according to that, I know that there's statute of limitation and all that with Governor what's he called, with Governor Abiodun. But these are also the issues we're talking about. How is it that everybody, yes, according to Nigerian law, it is conviction whether you are what's it called or not, whether you have been accused or not is not
That
there.
it's not being
But
done doesn't make it right.
No, that's what I'm saying. Sadly, it's
doesn't
not
make it
wrong
right.
because it's not against the law.
So again,
That's the sad part.
So again, if the parties lack the moral levels that we want as a people, if the parties present people who have tainted characters or allegedly have tainted characters. However, or people even have questionable characters or who are involved in the past with one thing or the other. What about the people who vote?
Oh, yeah.
What about us, the people who vote?
No, it's so easy. We've been scammed.
These are
No, I don't think people have been
Oh,
scammed. I think people
over
choose.
time.
I think
See,
people
let me
choose.
So
people choose, right? But parties will come out and say, these are our nominees.
And so they're
And
not the only ones.
when they push them out,
are you tied to their
what
weapon
we-
strings?
no, we're talking about the normal things. These
I
are
get
we are
what
talking about the normal
I
things.
get what you're doing.
agree with you.
I know it's not your opinion.
I'm looking at
Your-
what we
your-
have on our table now.
Mr.
That's
T,
going on.
I know you're just analyzing.
Yeah.
I'm responding to the people who think like that, not you. So I'm saying that again. I am calling all of us out. You Tokumbo, you Dolupo, and me Shola. That even if they bring these characters out, and I like what BT6 was. He said, look it up. He said we should look something up, right?
Yeah, he said, how did Kemi Adeosun pass through screening with a fake NYSC certificate? Who screened her?
These are the issues.
So those are the issues.
These are the issues. These are the things that we're talking about. But for the ones, she was even an appointee. For the people who came up for election, and they were campaigning
because
and everything.
You say that for someone like Kemi Adeosun is an appointment. It's not in anybody's hands.
If I am inclined to support a certain party, whatever candidate that party brings, I will support. If I am inclined as such.
True.
So, I would just be a drone following anything the party brings out. But I am speaking to the bulk of Nigerians who are not even card-carrying members. I'm saying that you've heard these stories.
Do we even do background checks on people who
check
want
and
to
say,
vote
okay,
for?
you know what, this person that they brought...
We don't, definitely.
That's what we're saying.
Yes, we don't.
That we as a people... And you now see that they'll do election and there'll be someone who is, of impeccable character, and he probably won't even get up to 1,000 votes.
No. So Aki Bitoye says, when the election cycle starts, it is too late for the electorate. The candidates have been selected long before the season starts. No,
But we're saying that on that bill, you can't tell me all of the people who came out.
Everybody has a questionable character.
Everybody has.
A lot of times, what happens with us is that we already have an idea of a party of who the party that we want to vote for.
Where the party is going,
So it's not about.
It's a movement of the party
exactly.
now. The party
so it's not about the person.
Yeah.
So now,
it's a movement.
BT616 replies to Aki Bitoye. It says it's the job of the party to screen candidates.
It's a party
the
job.
reputation of the party is on the line here. I totally agree.
It's a party thing.
In Bayelsa State, for the first time, the APC had a massive supportership a few years ago, and they presented a candidate that the people liked, and he won. Then, a day to his swearing in,
he was kicked out.
All the Ashwebi had been bought and everything. He was kicked out because someone went to court to say that his deputy had a questionable result from school and everything. 2 years down the line, they just took the thing and handed it to the person who came second, who was the PDP governor, Doyediri. 2 years down the line, the court says, that the deputy was clean. So the man himself is clean, the deputy is clean, but guess what? He won an election and he never became governor. But if and only if
somebody had done their due diligence
to the point where they say
due diligence.
Exactly. So Aki Bitoye says, which background to look for, from where to where now the powers that be can get narrative they want to project. Now, excuse me, you know why I will not totally agree with that?
I don't even agree at all.
Why I will not agree is, take for example, this issue of Governor Similaya Fubara. It was such a very huge conversation.
The EFCC
put it out. There was even there was a particular story. I don't know if you remember that he was trying to leave the country, that the EFCC was going to arrest him. It was former Governor Wike that literally whisked him away. It was not even
the same.
Yes, it's right there. He did not appear for what's it called, for campaign, because the EFCC was actively searching for him. He's right there that he was wanted. He is still wanted by the EFCC. It's just the immunity that covers him at the moment. So what are we now talking about? The one that we know, what have we acted on?
Can we see this thing? Because I'm just saying that this, when you are in a glass, when you are a part of the glass house, do not throw stones.
So we're still waiting for BT616 says we're still waiting for the name of our president's primary school. Akibide says I agree with you. But we don't have shame in this part. So not sure the party bigwigs have the backbone to say no to anointed candidates. That is all still a system that is not our business.
Again,
Deal with your
anointed candidates. Right?
Again, there's one thing. There's one thing I want to put out. You might not agree with me. You don't have to. There are supposed to be 96 plus million Nigerians who are registered to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Go and check the number of people that voted for Bola Tinubu, 8 point something million.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Obi, 6 point something. Atiku, 6 point something. Add it together. What do you have? It's less than 30 million.
Yeah.
Now, the other 60 million people that didn't vote, for whatever reason, if they had voted for, say, Showore, who will be president? Do you understand? You might not agree, but if it's true that we have 96 plus million people, you sit at home, you don't come out to vote. You don't even need to belong to a party. I'm just saying that if other people had come out and gotten involved and voted and gathered their votes, Bagbe, nobody go fit come, they tell you, say, no, somebody's anointed or the other.
I think it's beyond that somehow.
Yeah, please.
Because the issue was still on ground that anointed candidates usually will get the piece of pie.
No problem with the anointed candidates,
but
do we have to vote for that
it's
anointed
a conscience
candidate?
thing. It's a matter of conscience. It's a conscience thing.
Okay, so
you can't direct where I'm going to vote. You can't direct. You don't even know where.
Exactly.
You don't even know where I
so
belong.
do we have to vote?
Okay.
Akibitoye says, I understand your stance, but unless the video of Gandola was photoshopped, we have not started yet. It's still in the corridor or is in the executive suite of power. So that's all we're still saying. Everybody from the top to the bottom. We cannot continue to have people that have questionable character. What I mean questionable character is go and clear your name. The minute your name is not cleared, it is assumed that you have questionable character. Go and clear your name. At least let the court claim to say that you are not, you are fit to run and you are not fit to run. Take for example. Take for example, even if tomorrow, I know there's still a lot of conversation around President Tinubu's schooling and all that. Sadly, whether you like it or not, there is a level up until the Supreme Court that has thrown that case out. So till tomorrow, do you understand? He will tell you that even whether you are right or wrong, he will tell you that there is a court that has cleared him.
You are very correct.
So the least you can do is clear your name, whether the story is right or wrong.
But guess what? But guess what?
Yeah.
Beyond that, I repeat, court cleared Tinubu or not, Dapo Abiodun has issues or not, Fubara has issues or not. The people, Nigerians, nobody put a gun to your head. There were about 20 presidential candidates. Look to that list of 20. Even if it's a protest vote, it has happened before in Lagos now. Some people were supposed to be anointed and wanted, and Otedola became governor. We all know what happened. Do you understand? So people should stop saying these things as if it's hard. You don't have to support any of the popular guys. Let me just land my point, sir. All I'm saying is that if people come together and say, because Peter Obi is XYZ, we won't vote for him. Because Atiku is XYZ, we won't vote for him. Because Tinubu is XYZ, we won't vote for him. There are other people on that list. Vote for them. Let me
just say this. If you like, you vote for him. If you like, you don't vote for him. But this is, if your hands are dirty, look at my face. If your hands are not clean, and you are aspiring to become a politician in this present day and age, please don't bother. Let's start from there. Don't bother. Sit down where you are. Don't even try it. If you know that your certificates are not well farmed, don't bother, because that's where my problem is coming from.
Sadly, I don't even think that's going to stop anybody. And that's
stay where you are. Don't bother to come out.
Akibitoye says,
don't say anything good.
The apathy leaves room for all these shenanigans. An average Nigerian eligible to vote tells you, I don't want to stress myself. They already know who they will give it to. We need to fix that first. I agree.
Money.
Totally
exactly
money.
What I am talking about.
Money.
Yeah. I'm talking about people with questionable character. The former minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, and his brother are back in court again. The EFCC are arraigning this particular man. This is the third court case against him. Looks like the new way of the EFCC is once they hold you with something tiny, every week you are going back with different courts. Some in Lagos, some in
investigations
Abuja,
are in process.
some in, so they're not bunching all these cases together anymore. You're answering different cases. Now they're charging the former aviation minister and his brother over alleged 19.4 billion naira fraud.
19.4.
That's what you're about to
19.4.
19.4.
Is in Naira.
The Sirika brothers
right?
What the
are alleged to
It's
have,
in Naira now.
yes.
the Sirika brothers are
Sirika
alleged
brothers.
to have colobid 19.4 billion under a government that had a mantra of fighting corruption, anti-corruption.
Okay, so sorry, 1 second. Akibitoye says, let's not get carried away, fam. Unless the populace connects the dots between politics and their well-being, this will continue another quarter century.
Exactly.
I agree.
And that's why we are really trying to do our own part.
So BT616 says, a young man called me on day of elections. He left the voting booth because they opened at 11 a.m. The Mumu is going against the Mulikat professional voters that will close shop to vote. Oh, okay, he went to the voting booth and then left at 11 a.m. Oh, exactly, professional voters. They ain't going nowhere.
Professional voters.
But you see, that is the problem. Not this election, the other one that returned Buhari.
Okay.
I had to walk close to 1 hour to my polling unit. I walked about 49 minutes to go and vote. The bulk of the people I saw, I assumed they are of voting age because they looked big, were all playing football on the express. They were all playing football.
It's public holiday. The day I go to vote is public holiday.
And I said to myself, by the time I got to the polling unit, the number of people I saw playing football and just doing their own thing were more than those of us who came to queue under the tree to vote. Do you understand? We get there's no polling officers, there's nothing. We had to walk from there again to the center where they were distributing it. And I said to myself, this is the real issue.
And the football people still continue.
Oh,
why not?
on my way back, I saw them. On my way back, about 4 hours after, they were still there. They were still there, you know. So this is it. And you will come back and complain and complain.
Yeah.
But you actually indeed have... Look, they can only rig elections when they know
People
that
are
you are
voting.
not going to vote.
They're not interested.
Yes, exactly. So talking about Hadi Sirika, they said that he had conferred undue advantage to his brother Ahmad Abubakar Sirika brothers.
The Sirika brothers.
By using his position to influence and award the contract of the construction of a terminal building at Katsina Airport for 1.3 billion. It was also alleged on another count that he had he has given his biological brother the contract of establishment of fire truck maintenance and refurbishment center at the same Katsina Airport for sum of about 3.8 billion. Another one was accused of corruptly awarding a 615 million naira contract to his brother to install lift and air conditioners and power generators to Aviation House in Abuja. And between August 2022 and May 2023, had in possession of aggregate about 2.3 billion, which some you knew indirectly represented the proceeds of criminal conduct of Hadi Abubakar Sirika, who was the Minister of Aviation at the time. So basically, let's say sadly both of them were not in court today.
All that you read equals to what really? For me.
About 19.4 billion naira.
That's where I'm going.
Oh yeah, that's just one of. Remember last week he was arraigned with another conversation where he and his daughter and that one's husband
yeah.
He and his brother had already been arraigned earlier where they were granted bail and all that. And then you just wonder, you people say that I'm criminally minded. But
You are not criminal.
I will still call a spade a spade.
You're
I
anti-criminal.
think I'm just a realistic person. Yeah,
We know.
it's not about being optimistic. Let's be realistic. Even if you're going to award your brother, which I'm not saying is right, even according to the law, is nepotism and all that, you can't do those things. But even if you're going to do it, the least you could do is at least those things that you have been awarded to do them. The only conversation will now be you shouldn't have awarded the contract to your brother, not that you awarded the contract and those contracts are nowhere, those buildings, those things are nowhere to be found. BT616 says he loves his brother so much.
Too much.
Bob Spark TV says BT616 too much love.
Unconditional love.
The love is plenty because he has a lot of love for his daughter, his son-in-law.
Sorry. Okay.
Unconditional love.
For Sirika so loved his brother that he gave all of Nigeria's commonwealth so that he could live long and enjoy the money.
Agape love, Toba 19 billion love. That's BT616.
It's not looking good. It's so unpalatable, honestly.
But shout out to EFCC though. I like what they're
They
doing.
are
like the fact that because a lot of times you see these court cases a lot
These
of times
guys,
when everything is bunched together, then the courts shout out to the courts though. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with you, but you see how they'll start cancelling one count and then they start throwing out case upon case. But when you are bombarded with so many
at the same time, how do you unwind yourself from the tangle?
It's ridiculous.
It is tough.
It's tough. And especially this conversation continues and it gets worse because this is under a president who one of his mantras was about fighting corruption, and the amount of corruption that we have seen that has been alleged under former president Buhari is alarming.
The search is still on and investigations are continuing, and that's a flow for
Remember that it's still under the same President Buhari with SR's bestie, Emefiele. Out to the extent that they got to a point where they were forging the president's signature and all that. Come on.
The forged signatures these days.
Agape love.
With random
19 billion love.
It's so bad.
BT616. I love this comment.
Anyway, I'm talking about the CBN governor. The National Assembly are now moving to officially put it in the law to bar CBN governors from partisan politics.
We actually didn't need a law for it, but after experiencing
people have sense.
After experiencing what we experienced 2 years ago, yes, let them pass this law. Nobody in that position, anybody that knows that it's a neutral thing, it's like the Inspector General of Police or the Chief of Army Staff coming out openly to say, I want to be president. Ow! And you still want to keep your position. He even went to court. He even went to court on this matter to say that they should not stop him from contesting. Then he lost
the case.
Then they still allowed him to return as CBN governor.
So it's funny, yeah, why I think that we need a law, because at times when things don't happen, you don't think you need a law against it until happenstance. Take for example the case of how if a deputy governor or a vice president finishes the term of their Oga, they cannot do more than one more term because you can only do 8 years. Do you understand? Though that law did not come into place until there was a situation like that.
I think
and after that law, we have seen a few times that being used now. So really and truly, I think that it's good that is a law. You would have thought that people would just use common sense and do what is right. But it's obvious that we do not do what is right. The senses are
no longer common.
Exactly.
They are no longer common.
It's not common sense anymore. So we need to put these things into law. It's making sense. They're saying that they are amending the CBN Nigeria Act of 2007, saying that the governor and deputy governors shall be persons of recognized financial and shall be appointed by the president, and the chairman, the governor and deputy governors shall not engage in or be a member of any political party until 3 years after disengaging from the office.
Yeah. Okay. Still open to them though, but 3 years after.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, I think this is it's something that needs to be done, because obviously we saw how somebody decided to misuse their office. Now moving on from that, we're going on to the story of another minister, where the Minister of Women Affairs. No, now this is not a bad thing though.
Okay. All right.
Uju Kennedy-Ohanenye has now petitioned the Inspector General of Police and sought a court injunction to stop Abdul Malik Sarkin Daji, the Speaker of the Niger State Assembly, from marrying off 100 orphaned girls. So it was recalled the Speaker recently announced his plans to marry off the orphaned girls who had lost their parents due to banditry attacks in Mariga local government area as part of his constituency project.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing really, but
It's a sad situation.
it is.
He said that the gesture was aimed
For
at
me,
alleviating the suffering of the impoverished,
unbelievable.
pledging to pay the dowries for the bridegrooms and procuring materials for the mass marriage.
Le bâton.
Why
What?
not transfer that money
What?
and
There are a
trying
couple
to educate?
couple of comments
And he's saying
and
that,
questions.
and he's saying that is his own constituency. What did he say?
It's part of his constituency project.
Project.
So BT 616 says 3 years care should have been 2 electoral cycles.
Okay.
I agree with that 2 electoral cycles.
I get it.
That keeps the person out for at least 6 years.
Yeah.
8 years.
Yeah.
At least 6 years.
So
In
At least
between,
6.
if his tenure ends and
least
there's an
Yeah.
election,
Yeah.
then there's another election.
That
Sadly,
lacuna, yes.
the truth is that I will take 3 years at least. Let's take the one that's
It's not long enough.
we saw it happen. A sitting CBN governor was almost going to get away with it, and sadly, everybody had predicted that he was going to lose his
3
job.
years
He
is not
didn't.
long enough.
He didn't even lose his job. So if we will get that, and plus 3 years, I think that we will take the win.
Okay. Let's go on. This issue of that
it said that
marrying of people. Let's talk.
do we have an age range for these girls? I would look it up,
Okay.
but
That's another.
I'm not
thing.
sure yet. But according to the Minister of, they're actually children, because right now she's citing that there's a Child Rights Act and that it is unacceptable. So what for her to be citing that, it means that these children are underage.
We could still dig up. Yeah,
Why
but-
not transfer, look for money to send these girls to school?
Abi?
How is
I don't-
marrying them off?
And he
then
says it's his
some
project.
ridiculous,
His project.
some ridiculous
Tell me I'm lying.
on reason. I'm trying to.
No, because I
Some
don't get
ridiculous
this.
human beings would be okay to marry these girls.
Of course, what the governor is saying, that's what he wants to do. That's his objective. His policy, part of his objective.
So according to the minister said, as the speaker did not think about empowering these women or sending them to school or giving them some kind of training support financially, the Women Affairs have decided to take it up, and we're going to educate the children.
Fantastic.
Those that do not want to go to school,
leave
we
it.
will train them in a skill, empower them with sustainable empowerment machines to enable that child build his or her life and make up her mind who and when to get married. If for any reason the speaker tries to do contrary to what I have just mentioned, there will be a serious legal battle between him and the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs. Now, my question is, what is the governor of the state doing to this?
And his wife.
And his wife.
Yeah, because
How did he take
Mother
the
of the
minister?
state.
How did he take the minister to notice this, and the governor and his wife did not think this was wrong on all levels?
honestly, this is wrong on all levels. And how is this a project? I think what you should be
Make
doing
it
is
make
empowering these girls, like really and truly, their skill sets. Can you help them? But your own is to marry them off, because is marriage a solution?
So that
Is marriage a solution?
He would say that he's giving them houses to live.
And
so
then
that-
you now wait to see the funny thing. They are orphans, but you say you will pay their dowry to who? That one said they smell like
The
scam.
thing is this.
Who's collecting
I
it?
thought they don't have
What worries
families.
What
They
worries
don't have
me-
families, Abi. So who
What
is
worries
Buhari
me-
going to be paid to?
No, what worries
That's
me
a
is in
scam.
2024,
Exactly.
some leader is thinking like this.
We're in for it, oh, honestly.
One leader is
one
thinking
is
this way.
disappointing.
Is like
It's time for the governor of the state, though, whoever he is, to step up and stop this nonsense. Now, there's something that the minister of the ICT minister is doing, Bosun, 3MTT. I've been following that thing since last year, and they're actually empowering people. People are gaining a lot of knowledge, a lot of skills, and they can actually stand on their own, maybe get jobs or even start to market themselves. You're not thinking along skill sets, acquisition of skills and everything, empowerment. You're thinking marriage as a form of what?
holding the girls down as objects.
Mass marriage.
Object,
Mass marriage.
object,
In
object of
2024.
what?
What's
You don't even respect women. Whoever this person is should be called out. All the women in this country need to stand up and speak against this person, whoever he is.
Even from the state itself, women should gather. Why?
Anyway,
When Sarah should sue, they won't.
They won't
Is
sue.
this not the kind of case that you
it's
should
the
be
one that
talking
they will
about?
not take. No, they won't hear that one. Anyway, President Tinubu has directed MDA's ministries, departments, and agencies to procure only CNG-powered vehicles.
Okay.
Talk is cheap, sir. Talk is cheap.
Okay.
Talk is
okay.
cheap. I like the direction
Okay.
of pushing all of them towards CNG. It's cheaper, it's cleaner.
Because of
But
it.
sir,
They are the fastest to get on those things.
I have driven around Lagos a lot in the last 1 month. I was in Abuja about a month and a half ago. I've been to different parts of Nigeria this year. I have not seen CNG dispensing points past 2.
Where are the
One,
where are the
when you are
vehicles?
living in Ibadan.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen one in Ibadan,
When you're living in Ibadan, there's this filling station on the right.
and I think I've
Okay.
seen one in Lagos.
And I saw one in Lagos.
Yeah,
That Lekki side, I know.
there are only two
So,
that I've actually
sir,
noticed myself.
I beg of you, before you start to really enforce this thing, which is a beautiful thing,
Where it is.
where's the facility for it?
So
How
we'll
many
see.
filling stations have been, induced or empowered
Empowered to do
to
do
dispense
this.
CNG?
Okay, so Peter Mann says fistulas caused by injuries during childbirth may involve injury to the anal sphincter when you give birth at that age. Oh yes, I totally agree.
And you don't want to mass marry them off.
must marry them off. It's interesting how they don't even have a chance.
Is it ignorance again?
It's not
No,
ignorance.
It's not
so-
ignorance.
I think
so.
it's not. I don't
This
think
is
it's
not ignorance. This particular
I think
one
it's wickedness.
is
I think that it's the
sheer-
idea
sheer
of
wickedness,
so that let's just
sheer
get them
laziness,
out of, laziness.
lack of vision,
I agree.
lack of vision. Okay, and the fact that you feel you are in charge of people's lives.
Yes.
And so you can toy with them.
It's-
These
it's-
are ladies,
it's a way
future
to
leaders
just
of tomorrow.
Take them out of the way so
Why?
that they
How?
won't stress you.
How can you?
Yes.
I don't. 2024. Why? How?
But I'm happy that the ministry saw this and this is a worthy thing for them to talk about, because the honest truth is that sadly, if the minister herself didn't talk about this, a lot of us would probably not hear about it.
True. Yeah.
A big shout out to her because we give her knocks
Yeah.
when we
Yeah.
think she's not doing well. But a big shout out to her.
Yes,
She's done well. Oh,
I
really?
totally
Wow.
agree. I totally agree with this.
Fight
So he
them
says,
down.
leading to rectovag fistula. Stool starts leaking into the vaginal area. Yes. There's one particular name that it was really common.
Is it the VVF, Abby?
Yes, exactly.
It's
That's-
VVF or something.
It's such a very, you don't do those kind of things. It just doesn't make any sense. So let's move on quickly from that and let's just talk about a few things. Sadly, there are a lot of issues happening around the world. Indonesia is seeing a lot of floods where the death toll has risen to about 50, with about 27 people still missing. We're talking about it yesterday, where they have floods, they have mudslides, and they have cold lava.
Yeah.
That is, it's really horrible. It's really horrible there.
The world is changing, and again, people still don't believe in the issues with ozone layer depletion.
Yeah, Kenya
and all of
is
that.
going
The
through
world
it.
is changing.
We've seen the kind of floods that's happening
We're
in
in
Dubai.
We're in denial.
We're in denial, and then you know you now can't blame
Yeah.
the commissioner of environment in Lagos, where they're talking about trying to clear up because it's coming down.
That man is doing.
It's coming down,
facts.
whether we like it or not.
Have you seen their new notice
That
about
man.
Okeafa
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
in Isolo? People have gone. You know that canal now.
Yes, I do.
They've narrowed it. They've already built on it.
They've
So they've
built
given
on
them
it.
notice
Notices,
now.
yes.
Now people will come again
They're
and say
coming
that
there.
government is being
Yes,
wicked.
government
They just
is being
Meanwhile,
wicked.
everybody's
They just
house
finished
around that
at
area is
midday.
getting
They are going to
flooded.
Okeafa. That's work.
Yes,
That's work.
So quickly before we go, it is official. The NFF had unveiled. There was the unveiling of the Super Eagles coach. Now, former Super Eagles player as well, and his teammates, Finidi George teammate Dana Amokachi, and 2 other foreigners have been unveiled as his coaching assistants. We will see how that will work.
I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again.
It must work.
Congratulations to Finidi George and
It must
everybody
work.
that is going to work with him. But dear Minister of Sports,
Yeah.
I want to see you unveil coaches for the other sporting associations too. Let us know that you are actually a Minister of Sports or Minister of Football.
So BT616 says many people need to return back to their villages. I didn't mention Dolupo. I don't want Wala. Okay. I would.
He didn't mention you now.
My hand is not there. These two, they are not here.
He didn't mention you
I have
now.
no words.
My hands is not here.
I have no words.
Please don't talk, because if you
I will
do,
not say anything. Anyway, French national Kylian Mbappe has now won the award for France's Player of the Year award, and the La Liga has officially announced that he's leaving PSG and moving to Real Madrid.
Oh, okay.
Also, another French striker, Olivier Giroud, who we saw play fantastic football in the Premier League, then moved to AC Milan, has now announced that he's also leaving and moving on to the MLS.
He has to get those dollars, man.
Oh yeah, he's done really well. He's had a beautiful career. Now, before we go, finally, American singer Stevie Wonder has now been granted a Ghanaian citizenship.
Yeah, Ghana started this return home thing for African Americans. Stevie Wonder was one of the earliest people to key into it. Spent a lot of time in Ghana. Congratulations to him.
Super.
You know, and Nigeria
like
is
that.
also doing the same
I
thing,
like that.
but they've not really played it off.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Okay, so Peterman says Osimhen better not go to PSG. See how they disgrace Mbappe. I don't think they disgraced him.
Osimhen shall go to where he will get
I think
to
he would rather
be the main person.
going
you know,
to
like
Premier League
like
would
the pivot.
yes, but also there are some teams you go to in the Premier League that if he's not careful, they're going to bench him. But the truth is that I think that the problem with PSG is the fact that Ligue 1 is really not as big as people are making it seem. I think that money is what PSG has. They do not have the depth. That's why once they leave the Ligue 1, it doesn't do it. They're just, they don't really do as well. That's my own opinion though. But anyway, on that note, that is all we'll be able to take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you very, very much for watching. Okay, BT616 says, we don't want the year of return in Nigeria. The community is part of that package. We are a conservative society. Goodbye.
I know what it means.
At this point, goodbye.
I know what it means.
Come and be good.
We'll start from there tomorrow.
We're not going back there at all. We know what it means.
Let's talk about it tomorrow.
No.